However, once more, here we go. Meghan Markle was unable to control herself. She revealed another outrageous tale. This time, even physicians are intervening because it's so ridiculous. She's out here saying she put on 65 pounds while pregnant. However, each and every pound miraculously ended up exclusively in her stomach, not in her face, thighs, or even ankles. A single, enormous watermelon dangling from a high-end pair of heels. And rather than limping during the last trimester, she seemed to be walking around in 5-inch stilettos, as if she were performing a photo shoot for Vogue. Are you purchasing that? I'll give you the image she wants to sell you. Despite barely tipping the scales before becoming pregnant, Meghan unexpectedly puts on almost 60 pounds, but she doesn't bloat up like many other pregnant women do. Her chest did not enlarge, puff up, or alter. Only a beach ball of a tummy, supported by incredibly tiny ankles that seemed to be made of steel. How are you not tipping forward and face-planting? She claims that people would gasp. That's hardly a compliment, girl. That is a sign that something is amiss, and that is the role of the doctor. An actual one, not a gossip writer or conspiracy theorist on YouTube, but an OBGYN with 20 years of experience giving birth. He categorically referred to her story as biologically impossible. Not improbable, not odd, not impossible. He said that when a woman puts on that much weight, especially one as small as Meghan, it spreads throughout her whole body. Blood volume rises, feet enlarge, and breasts swell. The body becomes ready to feed a child. Furthermore, that action does not confine itself to the abdomen like some sort of Photoshop filter. Let's dissect it. A baby typically weighs 7.5 pounds. Add roughly 2 pounds for the uterus, 2 more pounds for the amniotic fluid, and an additional 1.5 pounds for the placenta. 2 pounds of breasts, 4 more drops of blood, 4 more bodily fluids. Additionally, maternal fat stores, which your body has to accumulate in order to create milk and maintain steady energy levels, weigh about 7 to 8 pounds. That comes to about 30 to 35 pounds for a healthy pregnancy. Perhaps 40, but 65, all in one place. That isn't pregnancy, it's fiction. The worst part is still to come. Meghan isn't merely exaggerating to gain influence. This involves someone deliberately disparaging the intelligence of others. She is genuinely questioning biology, as though reciting a tale enough times will cause it to come true. And perhaps, back when no one was actually listening, that worked for her. Now, however, people are paying attention. People are posing inquiries. And medical professionals, those who truly understand how the human body functions, are taking the initiative to say, nope, not today. Meghan attempted to support this delusion with old pictures and emotional podcast tales about need Harry's assistance to walk, which only served to heighten its absurdity. However, because they understand what it's like to be pregnant, actual mothers are calling bullshit from a mile away. They can recall what it feels like to swell, to wobble, and to feel as though your shoes are no longer fitting. Additionally, they don't believe this Hollywood narrative about a perfectly formed, high-heeled, belly-only pregnancy. There's more, though. Hold on tight, because things will only get messier. The tale isn't the only thing that's falling apart. The whole illusion is it, because those elusive birth certificates are now the subject of questions. The defense team for Meghan loves to yell privacy anytime someone requests simple paperwork. Here's the reality, though. No formal document for her daughter Liet that she released herself has been seen by anyone, not one. The press, which somehow obtained a copy that other journalists couldn't obtain, was the only source of the version that was in circulation. And I'm not sure what else would make people look twice. Additionally, Archie's certificate was a jumble. Her Royal Highness wasn't even included at first. It was changed later, but not because Meghan messed up. No, that was presented as a decision or a declaration. The secrecy has only gotten stranger after Lilith joined the picture. Why not be open and honest if you're so pleased to be a mother and you're so determined that people see these kids? Why, unless they are being provided to the media through covert means, are even fundamental documents kept secret? Her recent podcast contained a moment that truly revealed her mentality. When she talks about how you don't have to inform people your child's name before they are born, she is making fun of the late Queen. Doesn't it sound harmless? She did tell the Queen, though, so for those who were listening, it was a sneaky jab. That has been recorded. Pretending otherwise is merely another instance of her tendency to alter the story to fit her own ego. She always tries to project an image of being the outcast, the rebel, and the one who defied convention, but she also desires the titles and benefits that go along with it. Let's take a moment to discuss those titles. Those children are in the line of succession to the throne. That's no little matter. It directly links Meghan and them to the organization she says she despises. Nevertheless, she takes use of it whenever she can. She complains about colonialism and antiquated procedures in public, but in private, she wants her children to be treated like royalty. It's like attempting to acquire a dinner reservation while still using the royal family's last name. What about the individuals she spends her time with? According to reports, Chrissy Teigen attended several of her video sessions. Indeed, the same Chrissy who is charged with disclosing young people who are at risk of hurting themselves online. She decides to work with them while promoting herself as a mother, a mentor, and a female entrepreneur. Like an Instagram feed, it's all so meticulously planned, yet the edges are crumbling. This is where things start to fall apart. These days, Meghan is proud to identify as a female founder. She recently introduced a business that is purportedly supported by Netflix. But pay close attention. There is no mention of Netflix on her website. Nothing, no mention, no logo. Nothing, no mention, no logo. This raises the question of whether Netflix was indeed a partner, or if they were merely trying to carry out a deal in a covert manner to prevent further PR issues. Netflix is more of a passive participant than an active partner, according to one Hollywood insider. If so, it runs directly counter to the message Meghan has been spreading about business and empowerment. Her entire persona is based on contradiction. She avoids inquiries while preaching honesty. Despite hardly ever being spotted with her kids, she claims to be a mother. Despite her display of female strength, she is surrounded by individuals with highly dubious backgrounds. She's now attempting to market a pregnancy story that defies medical science and doesn't only seem inflated. One question remains after removing the titles, the publicity, and the photo opportunities. What is Meghan Markle attempting to become? Because at this moment, every indication points to something painfully clear. Someone who, despite the facts, is anxious to dominate the narrative. It's not even Meghan's words that tell the most about this whole story. Rather, it's what she keeps doing. There is a startling lack of, real mothering for someone who is always reminding us that she is a mother. When she appears in public, she takes center stage. The timing of the paparazzi photographs was ideal. However, those kids she continues bringing up to improve her reputation are almost unnoticeable, in a way that asks if they are even a part of her everyday life, rather than in a guarded private parenting manner. Not to mention the supposed physician who gave birth to Lily Bitt, quietly moved away, mysteriously gone. No public acclaim, interviews, or even a formal mention. All of them simply disappeared from the story as soon as he joined it. Royal births are not typically like that. Usually you have a group of doctors who proudly sign their names. For the record, they have a place in history, but stillness here. Nobody in Meghan's group appears eager to respond to the countless questions that have been raised by that alone. Then there's the analogy to Jennifer Lopez and Kim Kardashian, two women who genuinely became pregnant in front of large crowds. There was a noticeable difference in their bodies. Their weight increase was evident, reasonable, and well recorded. Meghan said that her 65-pound weight gain miraculously avoided all of her body parts, save her tummy. Not only is it unrealistic, but it is also absurd. J.Lo gained 50 pounds while carrying twins, and it was evident in every part of her body. Kim still had preeclampsia, which ballooned like a balloon. Meghan, however, wants us to think that she carried a bowling ball under her clothing and sailed through her pregnancy like a size 9 mannequin. What's the reason for Harry's strange pregnancy restrictions? According to reports, he insisted that she never be recorded without a coat. Why? If the pregnancy was real, why the fixation with covering the belly? For what reason was Getty Images instructed to withdraw? Why did a certain picture, taken only a few hours apart, depict two varying sizes of the belly? If it isn't strange, I'm not sure what is. Everything suggests the same conclusion. Meghan is meticulously creating a narrative in which she is consistently the victim, the trailblazer, and the misunderstood genius, but she is unaware of how much attention is being paid. No amount of polished Instagram statements or murmurs from podcasts can now hide the growing number of contradictions. She desires the prestige of monarchy without the associated responsibilities. She desires the appearance of parenting without the genuineness. Without putting in the hard work, she aspires to be recognized as a global female founder. And when the network of falsehoods keeps growing, even her staunchest supporters are beginning to narrow their eyes as she unravels. The story is no longer about pregnancy at this point. Credibility is the key. It concerns how long a person can continue to present a smoke and mirrors image of themselves. There may still be admirers for Meghan Markle,